Daisy used to live in a pretty tough area of East Los Angeles. When she was still quite young, her family packed up, moved away, and left her fence in the backyard to fend for herself. No food and no water. After a day of this, the woman next door put on a pan of water on the stove, and when it was boiling, she took it outside and threw it on Daisy. At this point, another neighbor thankfully took pity on the poor dog and brought Daisy to the nearest SPCA. This tragic story is one of the many from Elise Lufkin's book titled Second Chances: More Tales of Found Dogs. Founded by Henry Berg in 1866, the SPCA, also known as the Society for the Prevention of the Cruelty to Animals, was the first humane society established in North America, as discussed in the book Rescuing Rover by Raymond Weil. Not only do I have two pets, Sailor and Lily, our dog and a cat, and our beloved family pets that both come from the SPCA, but I've also gained knowledge on the topic while completing the research for this speech. And with that, I would like to encourage you to consider donating to the great cause that the SPCA stands for. So first, we're going to take a look at how the unfortunate harm is inflicted upon many animals. Secondly, the reasons that this abuse occurs. And third, most importantly, what we can do to help. So the mistreatment and abandonment of domestic animals is a serious problem in the United States. As quoted by Raymond Weil, one would think that all dogs enjoyed wonderful lives in people's homes, but thousands of unwanted puppies and other pets are born every day. Millions of unwanted animals have no home or lose their homes every day. Animal shelters take in and care for 6 to 8 million animals every year. Now, the violence that many of these animals are put through is unimaginable. For example, take Susie here. Susie was found in a dumpster by a young couple who was putting their trash into the dumpster late one night, and they heard a sound. They rummaged through to find her trapped into her dog carrier with duct tape across her mouth so that she couldn't bark and couldn't even pant. And thankfully, to the help of the SPCA, she was able to survive. Other sad stories similar to this include ones from Lisa Duffy Korpick's novel entitled Tales from a Dog Catcher, such as the puppy who was turned over to the SPA after children playing in their neighborhood found it in a trash can. These are only a few stories of the unbelievable pain that these animals are put through. So we'll now look at the root causes to all of their neglect and mistreatment. There are many reasons that these animals end up in the SPCA and are unable to find a happy home. Raymond Weil quotes, "Because of overpopulation, neglect, and mistreatment, a tragic fate unfortunately befalls millions of animals every year." So the ways that they get to the SPCA in the first place are animals are picked up by strays, they can be given up by their owners, or as you heard just now through my stories, they're seized from very cruel situations. Now, a lot of the time, people will acquire dogs from impulse. They get a new puppy for a special occasion, a birthday, a gift, and then they soon realize that this pet is a lot to take care of and they aren't owning up to their responsibility. Other times, people simply don't give the basic needs to their animals, such as food, water, and shelter. And third, there's a lot of times that unwanted animals are simply left on the side of the road or dumped in the ditch. Now, another thing that adds to the amount of animals that are in the SPCA is breeding, which is discussed briefly in Raymond Weil's book, Rescuing Rover. There's two types of breeding: backyard breeding and professional breeding, which you would probably know better as puppy mills. Puppy mills are known to mistreat their animals in terrible conditions, and they add to the overpopulation of these animals. The SPCA encourages, if you can't decide between a shepherd, a setter, or a poodle, get them all and adopt a mutt. Raymond Weil also touches on the amount that the SPCA relies on private donations, which is what makes it so difficult to them to accommodate to the high numbers of animals that are brought in each day. So these animals that are placed in their shelters are there for a few days to a few months. They have no idea. A lot of times it's also difficult for them because they must work with dogs that are hard to place due to old age, due to their breed, such as pit bulls are very hard to find a home for, or other times due to health problems that they have gained through their past. Shelters also lack time and space. They also lack staff and space due to tight budgets and crowded kennels. So what does the SPCA do to combat these actions, and how can we do our part as well? In order to solve this problem, the SPCA needs our help to provide the care that these animals deserve. Stated in Learning to Give's website in their article on animal shelters, the SPCA's mission is to provide effective means for the prevention of cruelty to animals across the United States. The SPCA is committed to the rescue of cats, dogs, and other animals that need our help. So as much as I would like to encourage you to donate, another way you can help is through adopting. Don't get your animals through places such as puppy mills. Of the almost 74 million dogs and 91 million cats that share our homes, only 16 to 19% of those animals come from a shelter, and that needs to change. So how can you donate? Well, SPCA's official website lays it out very simply for anyone that's willing to make a difference. There's many options that are offered for how much you can give. So first of all, you can do the traditional donating through the mail. You could also bring in supplies to your local SPCA. From blankets to pet food, anything will help. Other things you can do are one-time giving, which is becoming a member, monthly giving, which can make a difference for as little as 60 cents a day. And there's also types of giving such as corporate giving and plant giving. Linda Cole makes an important point in her online article. Money isn't the only way you can donate to the SPCA or to local shelters. You can help out by giving your local shelter time. You could be asked to help with office work, grooming pets, unloading donations, cleaning cages, or maybe just even spending time with the animals. Time is just as important and as appreciated as money if you can't make that cash donation. So what will you do to make a difference? In conclusion, these poor animals have been struggling for years from numerous types of abuse and violence and cannot get by without help from the SPCA and donors just like you. Donate your love by visiting your local SPCA and maybe even finding a new pet. Take them home and give them the second chance that they deserve. In a quote from another tale from Lufkin's book, a woman who picked up a stray dog with her husband on a hiking trip stated, "Actually, you don't adopt dogs, they adopt you." Please donate what you can and whenever you can, whether it's time or money or both. The life that you save with a donation could be your own pet if he or she were to ever become lost or neglected. Thank you.